What are the best, most reliable used cars that you can buy for under $10,000? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Call Up Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. If you're in the market to buy a car but don't have a lot of money to spend, then this video is for you. I'm going to go through 10 of the very best used cars that you can buy in the market right now for under $10,000 that are going to be top-notch in terms of reliability, repair costs, safety, and value for money. These are the top-rated used cars that you can buy according to anecdotal evidence provided by various mechanics, as well as iSeeCars.com, a reputable car information website that provides useful data on the car industry. So to find out what are the best used cars to buy for under 10 grand, make sure to stick around until the end of this video. And if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post 2 videos a week, always straight to the point, valuable car buying advice designed to help you, the consumer. So let's get this list started with my number 10 pick, which is the Mazda 3. If you're looking for a reliable and efficient car for a reasonable price, then the Mazda 3 is definitely worth a look. Mazda has been making this car for nearly 2 decades and has built a very strong reputation for low repair costs and excellent reliability. Although the older models were known for having rust issues, that problem was mostly solved from around 2010 onward. And in terms of the mechanical components like the engines and transmissions, Mazda 3s are very solid cars. They don't have a lot of reported issues and they're known to last a very long time, so even if you have to buy one that's around 10 years old, it's likely going to have a lot of life left in it. As good as the Mazda 3 is, it's not the only small car that you need to consider. You should also take a close look at number 9 on the list, which is the Toyota Yaris. If you just want simple, economical transportation, you really can't do much better than a Toyota Yaris. This car was in production for well over a decade using the exact same well-proven components, including a simple 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, as well as either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission. These are extremely simple and durable components that are built to last and take on major mileage without having any expensive repair issues. And not only is the Yaris dead reliable, but it's also extremely fuel efficient, practical, and really affordable to buy too. You can find relatively fresh ones around 7 to 8 years old on the used car market for under 10 grand that'll still have plenty of life left in them. The only real issue with the Yaris is that it's not the most practical car. It doesn't have a whole lot of interior space or cargo space, so if you like the idea of the Yaris but want something that's just a little bit more practical, then take a look at number 8 on the list, which is the Honda Fit. Like the Yaris, the Honda Fit is a small hatchback, but the major benefit with it is the fact that it has a lot more interior space and cargo space. Honda designed the Fit in a very clever way to maximize interior space, so not only can you fold the back seats perfectly flat, but you can also fold them upright so that you can load tall objects. And the amount of space that you get inside the Fit is pretty impressive, even comparable to that of a lot of small SUVs. And not only is the Fit a very practical car, but it's also very fuel efficient and extremely reliable too. It uses a simple 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, along with either a CVT automatic or a manual transmission. Older versions, however, did come with a 5-speed automatic, which is a very good transmission too. In any case, the Fit is an excellent car for anybody who wants simple, affordable, and reliable transportation. And the fact that you can get one that's around 7 to 8 years old for under 10 grand makes it an amazing buy. The only issue with the Yaris and the Fit is that they are small hatchbacks, and the reality is that most buyers want SUVs. And if you absolutely have to have an SUV and your budget is under $10,000, then the one you should be taking a look at is number 7 on the list, which is the first generation Ford Escape. Now, I don't ordinarily recommend a lot of Ford models because they tend to be pretty hit and miss when it comes to their reliability. The first generation Escape, though, built up to 2012, is an exception. This was a very simple and reliable small SUV. The first gen Escape was offered with either a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine or a 3-liter V6 with a choice of either front wheel or all-wheel drive. Whichever way you go, the first generation Escapes were extremely well-built SUVs. They're easy to work on, cheap to repair, and they have excellent reliability. Unfortunately though, all of that went out the window when Ford introduced the second generation Ford Escape for 2013, which was the introduction of the turbocharged EcoBoost engines. So if you want a reliable Escape, it's best to stick with the ones that were built up to 2012. Although there are a lot of other great SUVs on the market from brands like Toyota, Honda, and Mazda, the issue with all of them is that you really can't find a really good one for under 10 grand. Everything that you find is just going to be way too old or have extremely high mileage, and it's not going to have a lot of life left in it. Whereas with the Escape, it is possible to find a relatively fresh one with reasonable mileage for under 10 grand that's still going to have plenty of life left in it. But if the Escape is not going to cut it for you when it comes to practicality and space, then take a look at number 6 on the list, which is the Dodge Grand Caravan. The Grand Caravan is the definition of practical and affordable transportation. The bottom line is that if you need a vehicle that can hold up to 7 passengers and a ton of stuff for under 10 grand, you're not going to find a better option than the Grand Caravan. Although there are better minivan options on the market, like say the Honda Odyssey or even better the Toyota Sienna, the issue with them is that they're just way too expensive to buy. You're realistically not going to find a really good one for under 10 grand, which is why the Grand Caravan is a much better buy. According to iSeeCars.com, the average price for a 2013 Grand Caravan across North America is $8,200, which is a lot of value for the money. And the great thing about Grand Caravans is because they've been around for such a long time without any major changes, all of the parts are extremely well proven, they're cheap and easy to repair, and they are generally fairly reliable. But although the Grand Caravan is a good choice for those who need a very practical vehicle, if you're okay with a regular car, then let's move on to number 5 on the list, which is the Toyota Camry. Now, it's probably not going to be a surprise to many to see the Camry on this list because it has long been known as one of the most reliable cars that you can buy. The Camry has been around for decades and has long been known as being a very reliable and long-lasting car. You can find the Camry with either a fuel-efficient 4-cylinder engine or a larger, more powerful V6 engine, and the models that were built from 2007 onward were also available with a hybrid model, which is a little bit more difficult to find in this price range. According to iSeeCars, the 2011 Camry should have an average price of around $8,700. But the Camry is not the only reliable mid-size car that you can buy for under $10,000. You should also be taking a look at number 4 on the list, which is the Honda Accord. Much like the Camry, if you just want a simple, reliable, but also a practical mid-size car, then the Honda Accord is a really good choice to consider. The Accord has built a very strong reputation for its reliability and very low repair costs. Between these two mid-size sedans, you really can't go wrong, so you should buy whichever one you're able to find that's in the best possible shape for the best deal. According to iSeeCars, the average price for a 2011 Honda Accord is around $9,400. Higher than the Camry, but the firm also says that the Accord is twice as likely to hit 200,000 miles versus the average car, which is also higher than the Camry. No question, if you want an affordable and reliable car, you're not going to go wrong choosing either the Camry or the Accord. But if you like the idea of a practical car but just want something that's more fuel efficient, then take a look at number 3 on the list, which is the Toyota Prius. The Prius is the only hybrid car to make this list, and the only one that you can find for under $10,000 that's going to be a safe and reliable buy. And not only is the Prius extremely reliable, but it's also very fuel efficient as well. It's not unheard of to get between 50 to 60 miles per gallon or 4 to 5 liters per 100 kilometers with a Prius. According to iSeeCars, the average price for a 2011 Toyota Prius is $9,000, and it's twice as likely to hit 200,000 miles versus the average car. As impressive as that is, the one thing that you do need to watch out for when buying an older hybrid car like a Prius is the hybrid battery pack, which could need replacement. And if you do need to replace that hybrid battery, you could be looking at spending a few $1,000s. So my advice is that if you are looking at an older Toyota Prius that's over 12 years old, even though it can be very reliable, it's best to find one that's already had a replacement battery, just to protect yourself. But if you'd rather not bother or worry about any of that and just want a simple, reliable car, then let's move on to number 2 on the list, which is the Honda Civic. The Civic has long been known as one of the most affordable and inexpensive cars to own on the market. They're not only known for being extremely reliable, but they're also very fuel efficient and inexpensive to run and maintain. And because Civics are so popular, it's not that difficult to find a really good one for an affordable price. They are plentiful on the market, and according to iSeeCars.com, the average price for a 2011 Civic is around $7,600, which is a lot of value for the money. As great as the Civic is, there is one other car that's realistically just as good if you just want simple and reliable transportation. And that car is number 1 on the list, which is the Toyota Corolla. Anytime someone asks me what is the absolute best car to buy for under $10,000 that's going to be reliable, fuel efficient, inexpensive to run and repair, the number one choice I always recommend is the Toyota Corolla. For anyone shopping on a budget, it realistically doesn't get any better than this. Although the other similar cars that were mentioned on this list, like the Toyota Yaris, the Honda Fit, and the Toyota Prius are all great choices too, one advantage that you get with the Corolla is that it's way more plentiful on the used car market, so it's much easier to find a really good one for an attractive price. The reality is that both the Civic and the Corolla are two of the very best selling cars in the market, so it's not going to be too difficult to find a really good one for under $10,000. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, these prices do seem pretty high for cars that are around 10 years old, but the reality is that's the situation in the car market right now. There is a very severe industry-wide car shortage, and the prices of used cars have increased substantially over the past year. So although it's not ideal to be buying a used car at this time, if you absolutely have to buy one and at an affordable price, the cars on this list are the very best ones to focus on. So let me know what you thought of the cars on this list, and if you have any suggestions for any future car videos, just leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at some of my other car videos by checking out these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.